Hey everybody, and welcome to my Attack on Titan complete manga series review. So I just finished Attack on Titan recently with the latest chapter, and I decided to go ahead and give some of my thoughts on it. Starting off, for those that don't know too much about this series yet, Attack on Titan is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Hajime Ayasama. It is set in a world where humanity lives inside cities surrounded by three enormous walls that protect them from gigantic, man-eating humanoids referred to as Titans. The story follows Eren Yeager, who vows to exterminate the Titans after a Titan brings about the destruction of his hometown and the death of his mother. Attack on Titan has been serialized in Kodansha's monthly Besatsu Shonen magazine since September 2009, and has been collected into 33 volumes as of January 2021. Its original run was from September 9, 2009 to April 9, 2021. Or at least, that's what Wikipedia says right here. So basically, Attack on Titan is a series that I got into quite recently. As I said in my February reading log, I binge-read it a few weeks ago, or I binge-read it in a few weeks, and have been, I had been waiting patiently for the last few chapters to release, and, they released. they released alright. I won't go into spoilers, but it isn't exactly what I expected. But I'm going back to the start, though. The series has a lot of themes that people thought were edgy, and would really only appeal to teenagers. I wouldn't really say that's true anymore. That was kind of a Season 1 kind of deal. Throughout its run, it never really holds back on any of the violence and other themes, such as loss, anger, morality, romance, to an extent, I guess, and revenge, mostly. A lot of revenge stuff in this series. I won't be showing all the volumes because Attack on Titan is very notorious for having spoilers on the back and front covers. So I'll only be showing the box sets and some of the earliest volumes here. At the start, the main protagonist, Eren, is pretty likable and relatable as a character, but as the series progresses, he becomes less and less of a typical shonen protagonist. His friends, Armin and Mikasa, are far more of consistent characters. Armin is more of a thinker rather than a fighter, and Mikasa is basically the opposite of that. Well, the supporting cast is great, too. Some of the fellow scouts are really good role models for the main cast. My two favorite characters being Hanji and Levi. They have some really nice old married couple energy, and that works really well. There are a few villains throughout the series, although a lot of them have interesting and thought-provoking goals that tend to make you feel empathetic for them. I would have to say the biggest draw for this series, while I was reading it, would be the mysteries, such as where the walls came from, where the Titans are from, what the outside world is like. These things will probably bug you, and you'll want to keep reading to find out the answers to them. The series doesn't really spoon-feed you anything. It really keeps you on the edge of your toes for this one. I would say both the anime and manga have very good fight choreography, a lot of really satisfying moments in the fighting. In the anime, seasons 1 through 3 are animated by WIT Studios, and their Attack on Titan is basically just a complete recreation of the anime, or of the manga, with some changes to the order which the story is told. So the manga tends to jump around a whole lot in the beginning. The anime keeps it a far more streamlined experience. I won't be showing any more of these covers because spoilers and stuff. But Mappa's Season 4 basically completely copies the manga 100%. Although, I would say, like, the reliance on CGI and rotoscoping is a bit, it's hard to avoid, it's really easy to see. They don't really mask it very well. But to be honest, it's really not that big of a deal. And most of the time it just looks great anyways. And what is bad in the animation will of course, get improved for the Blu-ray release of the anime. I mean, that same thing happened to season 1 and through 3. I mean, the stuff got improved for Blu-rays, so any big complaints people have about the anime right now for season 4 is probably going to get fixed soon anyways. So just to share my some more personal thoughts about Attack on Titan, I like this series a lot. Attack on Titan is very engrossing, very well written. There are moments that people don't like, and I will get into that a bit more in a second, especially the newest chapters that came out that kind of messed up the internet a bit. To be fair, I think Attack on Titan is extremely well made. I think the manga and the anime are extremely good. They're pretty interchangeable. They're so similar that the only real downside to the manga at all is if you don't like the art style. The art style at first is a bit janky. I'll show you some early panels. So look at this. This art style is fine. It's really not that bad or anything. But some people don't like the kind of... Some people don't like the inconsistencies with the proportions of characters, and if that's something that will really bother you, then I would definitely recommend going with the anime. But keep in mind, the manga art gets better substantially. Asayama's art substantially improves throughout the run of the manga, to the point where he's basically a professional now, and he was not at all. He was, even by his own words, not a professional at all at the beginning. So if the art bothers you, it does get better. But I think the art is fine even from the beginning. It has charm in its simplicity. So while I think the series is extremely good in terms of the writing, the way it keeps you in suspense, the characters, the character interactions, I think it's all great. And then there's the ending, which, you know, some people are upset about. I'm not the biggest fan of the ending of the series at all. I think it's pretty much fine. I'm gonna go into semi-spoilers here. But basically, Eren gets did dirty. Eren gets kinda did dirty. Basically, people call it a character assassination. And yeah, I kind of agree with that assessment. If you're looking into this series to have like an absolute banger of an ending that ties everything up, you're not getting that. Certain things get tied up nicely, but other things don't. Honestly, Attack on Titan is one of those series where you could definitely say it's all about the journey and not about the destination, and I honestly agree with that. Just because the ending wasn't spectacular or anything, just because it was a little bit disappointing, doesn't mean that the entire series is now invalid. In fact, I would say it doesn't affect the series all that much. I know a lot of people probably don't agree with that, but I've always been a very positive person when it comes to these sorts of things, so that's just that's just my 2 cents. Anyways, like I said, the mysteries will keep you on the edge of your seat the whole time, and while it didn't have the best ending, it wouldn't give you the most satisfaction, the series itself is fantastic. And as a final score out of 10, I would give Attack on Titan, the manga specifically, a 9 out of 10. Now, as far as the rating for the anime goes, while there are things that I like that they changed, and there are things that I don't like that they changed, in general, I would give it the same score of 9 out of 10. The anime is fantastic, the manga is fantastic. It isn't perfect, which is why I won't give it a 10 out of 10. But it is extremely good, and I would highly recommend it to pretty much anybody. As far as alternate manga recommendations, my number 1 pick for most similar to Attack on Titan would have to be Death Note. in terms of just the overall storyline itself and the themes and the feelings it should give you as a reader, number one, most similar, in my opinion, is Death Note. Another great series. While I wouldn't say Death Note is as good, Death Note is probably a high 8 out of 10 instead of a 9. I would definitely recommend checking that out if you are a fan. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Please be sure to subscribe and like this video if you want to see more stuff like this. I've never done a manga review before, ever. This is my first one, so if there's any tips or corrections you want to make in the comments, go ahead. I'm new to this. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.